seeing where the drainage is on the property is super important. It's all listed right here in the plot plans. This is how we're able to make an accurate read on how this lot's going to affect you today and in the future. I had to show that to our client that he loved the lot the other day, and he was like, "Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I do not want that at all." And I said,
Yes.
"I didn't think you did either."
It kind of feels like it's your little
Exactly.
section of the pond back here. I love that, dude. All right, all right. Welcome back to more FLA Homes. If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian Clay. Alongside me is one of our real estate rock stars on the squad, the Wesley Chapel King himself. Corey, how are you, brother?
Doing good, my man. I got a good one for us today.
I'm excited for everybody out there. Buying a new construction home in Florida is not one big decision. It's a series of little decisions that can hurt you or help you. Corey, take them home.
That's absolutely right, Christian. And that's why we are back in Two Rivers in the Zephyrhills area today of near Wesley Chapel. This is a beautiful community. We're getting a ton of calls, probably one of the hottest communities in the Tampa area that we're helping families with right now. And today we're going to show you how we buy these lots. When you come to one of these communities and they have dozens of lots available, how are we choosing them? What's the process that we go through? I'm going to kind of explain our process of how we're helping our buyers obtain these homes by helping them with the buyer incentives, locking in the quality of the homes, getting them with the right people during
Yeah.
the process. We're also going to show you a few of these lots that we were able to obtain. And then I got something special for you at the end. A little something we saw pop up here with a pool company that might be in a little bit of trouble working in the Tampa area. So I want to kind of explain how we do have a vendor list. And part of working with us is you get our vendor list because you can go do it on your own, but you might be one of the victims of
Man,
this charge right now.
that would be terrible. Now,
It would.
before we even dive into like how we help people with the lots, because we say it a lot on the channel, right? Like non-duplicatable
Yes.
lots or level 1, level 2, level
Yes.
3 lots. The importance of having a good lot is not just about living in the home, because it may be your forever home, right? But if you
Hmm.
go to relocate, move up to a level 3 or 4 home, you have to sell the damn thing. How long? Let me ask you a question here, Corey. How long do you think they're going to be selling homes in Two Rivers? As far as the builders waving the flags at the front, right, and us getting people great deals on these. How long do you think they're going to be selling out there?
I would say at least 4 to 5 years.
Okay, 4 to 5 years. I think maybe even more. Who knows? 4 to 5 years, I think, they have a lot to build out there. If you buy something and you want to resell in the next 4 to 5 years and those flags are flapping at the front, you got to remember, those are big companies. They need to sell those homes. You want to make sure you have leverage on your side with your lot and you have something unique about your home, because your floor plan is going to get sold throughout the community. It is what it is. We'll love you to death. That's why we lean into these lots. We want to make sure that you guys are leveraged on the back end as well. So talk to them.
Hey, you couldn't even said it better right there. It's all about having the leverage to buy these lots and then having a non-duplicatable lot that is going to sell in the future. That's going to kind of pull more eyes in when you're going to sell in the future.
Yeah.
And this is really what we do when we're taking our buyers out to these homes. We're going through a series of questions and different possibilities with these homes, whether it's the lot options, what the neighbors look like, what kind of traffic's on the road, whether
Yeah.
car lights will hit you when they're going to a stop sign.
Dude,
Some of these
that's an
homes are next
underrated one. That's an underrated one.
underrated.
You could be living in front of the stop sign where those cars are coming in. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And the lights will just hit
Yes.
your car or hit your house every single evening when they stop, right? Like, come on. Those are
Yes.
the little
I
things.
had
It's
to
like,
show
watch
that.
out for this.
Yeah. I had to show that to our client that he loved a lot the other day, and he was like, "Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I do not want that at all." And I said, "I
Yes.
didn't think you did either." But as you can see, even on the drone footage here, the little green spaces between homes. This neighbor you can see is going to have some of that HOA maintained area, correct? So their house is going to be back to a home that's facing perpendicular the other direction. So we'll pull out the site maps. We'll pull out plot plans. I think pulling up a plot plan is a huge part of making this decision to see what the actual dimensions of your lot are. Sometimes you'll have that extra green space and you think it's your property when it's actually not. That could be good or bad. I prefer maybe you have HOA maintain that green space next to me and I can still
Yes.
use it. But
Absolutely.
showing a but having a plot plan like this, seeing where the drainage is on the property is super important. It's all listed right here in the plot plans. This is how we're able to make an accurate read on how this lot's going to affect you today and in the future. We could probably roll off 100 different questions to figure out what is a good lot. So if you can do 50 of them on your own, you're probably an expert. If you can do 100 of those questions to figure out the right lot, you should probably do an application and work with us because we want you on the team for sure. But there are many different factors,
This
like you
little
said, a
green
bunch of
space is
small
cool, man.
decisions.
I hate to cut you off. So
It's really
whoever's going to
nice.
have this right here is going to have beautiful landscaped kind of. Now, let's
Yes.
be honest. That's probably going to be public easement, right? But who the heck
Hmm.
is just going to be walking over here to run into somebody else's backyard? So you'll be able to utilize this space here. You don't have to put up a fence depending on how this lot is
Correct.
structured here. That looks nice. I like that a lot.
And we had two different families look at properties right here where you can see the dirt is before the sod has gone in. They've looked at both those homes. So we've had opportunities with our clients to obtain some of these homes. You're going to see in this video that we have two clients that are under contract. One's coming in the screen right now at the bottom, a single story home called the Magenta, only around 1,500 square feet. But a client reached out to us and said, I do not want to be on water. I have a young kid. It's something I don't want. We were able to find him this perfect corner lot. It's already
Yes.
got the fence in the back. It's not on water, and because it's a little bit smaller of a home, there's tons of light in the home because there is no neighbor next door to it. I think that was important. These windows on the side of the home are in the dining room, living room, kitchen. If there was a two-story home with
Mm,
a 10-foot setback between you, this home would be much darker. But because we've looked at the lighting in the home, the sight lines in the home at different times of day, we're able to see if this home is something that is livable for them. And it ended up being a perfect home, a great lot, a big covered lanai, and it's exactly the square footage that they need for their small family. And I think once you see inside this home in just a second here, you're going to be kind of blown away. It lives much larger than what is laid out on paper.
You make a good point. It's really good to know what homes are being built next to you. You actually might have a nice lot, but you may not know what they're building next to you. Sometimes these builders will stagger the homes, right? They won't build them next to
Hmm.
each other right away. And that's a strategy because if this home was the same model next door but flipped, right, the opposite direction, you'll be looking right into the windows of your neighbors. I remember I had a client that was like that. He's like, why do they keep doing this? So, to have this corner lot is extremely important. And you see how this two-story home, if they were to had another two-story home wedged between, it's going to be like a dungeon and there's no natural light. So absolutely. Great job.
Absolutely. Yep. And I rattled off a few of the checkpoints that we go through to see if this lot is suitable for each of our buyer in whatever case scenario they have. But like I said, there are dozens of these questions. And as we continue to walk the home and we kind of let our buyer fall in love with the home, we're checking the boxes behind them. How is this going to affect them in the future? What kind of roads are being developed outside the community, commercial space, schools, things that are going to affect their equity in the future? And we make sure that they're fully informed on this lot, which I think is probably one of the most important decisions amongst the many that you will make is finding the piece of land because this floor plan is identical 20 other times in the neighborhood. So you're going to get the same home. It's a spec home. It's going to be built to look exactly as you see on the screen. You're going to get the same appliances. You're going to get the same windows, a couple different elevations or exterior colors,
Yeah.
but the lot is going to be very different. And you can see from walking in here, us kind of talking about having the natural lighting, having vaulted ceilings. This feels like a huge space, and
Yeah.
the layout is very functional. You have great sight lines coming from the front door all the way out to the back door, so it is absolutely a perfect lot for our buyer. They're super happy. And we did even run into a little hiccup. Like we said, what's the one thing we always talk about? The people ask us, what builder should I go to? Who does the best job? It always comes down to the construction manager.
Yeah.
I think the best two experiences I've had this year have been with this builder, Casa Fresca. I've run into two of the best construction managers I've ever worked with on a new construction project with their company, which I think says a lot about their quality in what they're trying to deliver to our buyers. But we did run into a hiccup. We were supposed to close at the end of the month, and we were just informed a few days ago we were going to be about 30 days late.
Woo.
We were able to get with the right people within the company, having the relationships
Yeah.
with the sales reps, being able to get to division managers to push the process along. We were able to get that date back into our time frame. We were told no, so we had to go to the right people to get it done. So that's kind of what I think a huge benefit of having us on your team is, hey, you are going to hear some no's in this process. Things aren't always going to work out. It's never a perfect process, but we're here to make it as seamless and as smooth as possible and save you a lot of time. And definitely at the end of the day, we're going to save you a lot of money.
One of our main pillars in our system that we operate in, right? Remember, we're talking about a ton of little decisions in order to get you to that
Hmm.
right home. One of our major pillars is inside builder access, and that is one of the that's our relationships that we've built. I will be completely honest with you. We had to go through the BS so you all can have the proper reps to work with, right? Not just
That's right.
pushing something like this up to management, but just your time is so important to you. A lot of you are relocating. You're probably selling a home. You're trying to time things like school and job. And I promise you this, 30 days off of the deadline to close can screw you over, because we get questions all the time. Where would I stay if something like that happens, right? Do I get an Airbnb? Can the builder pay for it? Is this something that could be fixed and
Hmm.
adjusted? Because you got to remember, to the builder, you're another number. I hate to say it, right? Because there's a lot of builders out there we love. Corey's talking about how the CM in this community is doing a great job, but you are a number. They're, as soon as they sell you the home, they're going to move on to the next person. With
That's
us,
right.
we got to hopefully see you for the rest of your life. And, you're a part of our VIP fam. So we want to make sure that we're getting it right for you. And by the way, the two contracts that we put together, $0 out of pocket for our people towards us, right? Like their service was free to us.
Absolutely free of charge to our buyers, which I think is the best part of this process.
No brainer.
And both of these buyers were able to get a pre-drywall inspection on these homes. So they got the home in an early stage where our inspector was able to get behind the walls. The construction managers honored that inspection report. They brought us into the home to see the fixes and show us this was on the report. This is how we fixed it, which is another reason that we really kind of back this company and their process. They are a quality entry level builder. They are going
Yeah.
to do what's right. And you know what? We tried to get the date pushed up sooner, and they said we will not sell you the home unless everything is fixed before we close. We're not going to push it off in the warranty. We're not going to tell you we're going to fix it later. Some builders will do that. They'll say, "Hey, just sign today, and then we'll come back next week and we'll fix it." And that's never really a guarantee. So we're happy to work with a builder that's going to work with us, and we're seeing some of the best deals get done. They're one of the most motivated
Yeah.
entry level builders on the market right now. We're seeing them move the needle to get the deals done with our buyers, and I think that's why we're in this community so much right now.
Dude, entry level, right? So like our what we label as a level 1 product out here in this community, I would think everything would be level 2 and up. But dude, pavers, like check this out. So they're taking a product that they sell in other
Yes.
communities and they're putting it out here and really kind of leveling it up, right? So this is the top of level 1 to us, which is going to make the entry level price point just so affordable out here. Just to get into this community at affordability is huge.
That's what it is. Every builder has brought like a little step up in Two Rivers. That's what
Yeah.
you're going to see from entry level all the way up to the semi custom homes. They've all increased their design and what they have in this community to make it look more like a luxury community.
Ooh,
You're
look
going
at
to see
this
here.
lot. I like this
Hey
lot
man,
right here.
this is home number two, man. That's
Is
on the
this
list
it?
here. I'm glad you know this is it, buddy. This is it.
Dude,
We call this one mailbox home because the mailbox is going to be right there on the street. So every
I
time we
like
kept
that.
coming back to talking about it, we were like, but the mailbox home. And here's what we went through. All of those series of questions on how is this home going to look? What's it going to look like with the neighbors around? Being able to fly the drone over, checking the water elevations in the back, making sure water's flowing, not stagnant.
Sure.
There was a ton of benefits of having this piece of land in the community. And it was one of the first homes they saw, but we kind of go through that process with our buyers before we get on site. And sometimes I take you right to the right one right at
Dude,
first, you
you
know?
want to
So
talk about some
it's,
uniqueness in your home site? Like, oh my goodness. So, a few things that I love, right? the
oh,
the
yes,
the
this is
green space
beautiful.
here that's already landscaped, right? Like nobody, you don't have to do anything to it. They're not going to build anything here.
Yes,
But the little pond in the back, I absolutely adore. It's going to have to we'll get back over there, but it's a
yeah,
small enough pond where it feels private. You're not going to see people walking around fishing on it, right? Cuz it kind of feels like it's your little
exactly.
section of the pond back here. I love that, dude. That's great job. Great job.
It is. It is. And when the drone keeps rolling too, you'll see there's probably like a couple acres of open conservation behind there. That's what Two Rivers looks like all around with all the builders. You see these natural landscaping on the sides of the homes. You see the big trees in the background, the ponds, the lakes, open conservation. Like you said, there won't be any homes directly behind those trees.
Hmm.
So they're going to have privacy in their backyard. We even went over to the other side of the street to see where the other homes would be built and how they would look going through the trees to see their backyard. So we really do a deep dive into these lots. And a lot of times after you get through 20, 30 questions, you find a couple of things that might not be desirable, but they're always worth to note. check all the pros and cons, make sure you can live with the things that we're seeing that maybe aren't favorable. But in this case, they hit a home run.
Let me ask you
Almost a
this
no
though.
brainer.
Like, let me ask you this. Although there are builders that we do like, those builders have to sell those homes, right? Like, why would we
Yes.
show one of our clients something that might not be favorable to them? Like, wouldn't that kind of deter them from wanting to buy that home? Like, obviously, like it's
Oh
not our
yeah.
product, but like, why would we be able to do that comfortably?
Because we want you to be as informed as possible when you make this decision. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything with you. We're straight shooters. We let you know this is the good, this is the bad, and the ugly. And there's gonna be a little bit of compromise in every decision you make. As long as you're comfortable and you understand that there is going to be some compromise. There might be a little something that you have to sacrifice when you get a lot. However, we know that there's more options. So if this isn't perfect for you, just let us find just something else and we can maybe check off those other boxes too.
And I think we're able to do that. Actually, I don't think I know. It's because we don't work for the builder, right? Like, let's just say
Yeah.
nothing checks, no boxes check here. Obviously, if you're not with our preferred sales rep, our preferred reps, they know how we operate, right? We get in, we get
Mhm.
it done, straight to the chase. But if this product doesn't work for you, we can take you to the next product and the next product, right? You guys are
Absolutely.
still working with us. Whereas the builder, if you don't buy their product, they want to make sure you're shopping with them. Otherwise, you're a lead that leaves and goes away. So for us, it's like, hey, we're going to show you the good and bad about everything. And at the end of the day,
Hmm.
we can use some of that as leverage when it comes to negotiating, right? So like we
That's
do kind of
exactly
want to
it.
turn over every rock and see if there's a little bit of issues that we could kind of
Yeah.
leverage to get you a good deal.
Hey, we've had a buyer recently that said, I want to be on water. I only will buy in the community if I can have a water lot. So we walked in the builders, asked if they had water lots. They said no. We turned around and left. We didn't even look at anything.
I love
So
it.
if it doesn't, like, it's not about what builder we go to. We're bringing our clients here because they're getting beautiful homes.
Yeah,
They're getting quality construction process. They're getting good deals and all closing costs paid, if not 95% of the closing costs paid. And now they're offering a 3.99 interest rate.
bro.
That's where we're really finding steals in these communities. A 30-year 3.99 fixed FHA rate is incredible. So people reach out to us. In this case, for our buyer, it was going to be their first home. Young family, just had a baby, moving from South Tampa to Two Rivers, to Zephyrhills to kind of get away from the hustle and bustle. And they're still going to commute into South Tampa and St. Pete. So you'll see that people are moving this direction, that drive over that way for this kind of lifestyle, but also because they were looking for affordability coming from a renter lifestyle into first home ownership. Where can I get the most affordable mortgage? I took them right here. And look at this beautiful home they're able to obtain for a first home, where they're looking at a mortgage that a lot of people pay more in rent in Tampa. So when you tell us, the things you need and your criteria, how it stacks up, we're bringing you to a few of these homes where we're like, hey, these are the options that you have. We're not going to look at 50 homes. We don't need to do that. That just gets confusing, to be honest.
Dude, I'm
So
shaking
we'll
my head
take you
at
to
this lot, bro. This lot here, dude, like
it's
great
beautiful,
job.
right?
Good, like, and for them to be first time buyers, obviously that you help them out. So like, the strategy and how to like, I just want to give them a hug. I want to hug them. It's like,
You will.
great job, guys. Like, great job.
They,
You did good.
they are awesome people. They did really good. And you'll even notice that Casa has two different tiers of home in this community. They're kind of traditional and then a little bit of their bold series. But on this one, they don't have a covered lanai. We have people in this community that have extended that lanai. I'll show you some photos of it later. We have the right vendor to do it. We have pricing on it as well. To get you with the right vendors is a huge process when you're coming to Florida, especially if you're relocating, and getting the right company to do these jobs is important. And I think that was something we were talking about earlier, is this pool company. I don't know if you want to pull that up. We have a major pool company in Pasco County that is coming down with some charges right now on fraudulent uh, pools that they were building. They were taking money and they weren't completing projects. They kind of ran out of money and kept building and then just took everything and ran away. But we're talking about 35 or 36 counts in over 20 years in prison.
Former Olympus
Hopefully,
Pools owner found guilty on 35 fraud charges. A jury found James Staton, the former owner of Olympus Pools, guilty on 35 of 36. He got one count down. One charge. One charge was
okay,
dropped.
okay,
35 of
okay,
36
okay.
counts of related to defrauding customers, concluding a trial that highlighted whispered financial misconduct. Wow.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. We get you with the right pool company. We have not only do we just you can go find one on Google and try it out, but these are the kind of things that happen if you're not getting with the right company. So having our vendor list is part of working with us. When you call us and you move in, you need to get a structural addition to your home,
Whoa.
like a
I'm sorry.
covered
I'm reading
lanai.
while you're talking, my
No,
man.
you're
Hold
good.
on. Hold
You're
on,
good.
dude.
We're gonna get you with the right company.
He misused approximately $1.5 million in customers' funds to finance a luxurious lifestyle. My dude he was probably
Right, I mean, he was
G-Wagon.
chilling, bro. He was ripping
I mean, that's
in.
not funny.
He
Actually,
was chilling.
that's not funny. He's gonna get, hey, listen, justice will be served on that. But the importance of having the right reps is once again, right? So the insider builder access, we've gone through the BS for you. Like I haven't dealt with this guy here
Just like
before,
this.
but
Yeah.
it's out there, right? So we want to make sure you're with quality, reputable reps that are gonna do the job, not necessarily buy a G wagon with your money. That's crazy.
That's it. That's what it kind of came down to. Sorry, we can get back to the video
Okay,
on
sorry.
there. But yeah, but yes, we could. I think it. I'm glad you brought that one up too, the Gabriella. I think it's important that you know who to work with when you're coming here, whether it's just getting tile work done. If you're doing, like you said, structural stuff to your home, you definitely want to make sure you're getting with the right company that has the right insurance, the right license, they're pulling permits correctly. But luckily, you have us, and we can have that list that we can send to you. And I'm even personalizing that for one of our clients that just bought a Casa Fresca home. It needs a little more work done on his home, wants to put in a few more upgrades. So we're still kind of searching for the right people for him because we're not just going to send him Olympus Pools, someone we haven't worked with. We got to vet through the people that we're handing out to our clients.
I want to show everybody something. And this is not a knock because we've helped a lot of clients. At the end of the day, it's your decision, right? But check
Yeah.
this out, right? How mundane does that look? It's not a knock, right? But then when you go back and you look at that lot right there, right? Or the corner lot, that right there is the difference between
Absolutely.
what you're going to be competing with potentially in the future when you go to sell,
Correct.
right? And it's not a knock, it's the reality of it, people. Like we want to make sure that you are leveraged properly.
And we were walking down the street looking at this floor plan, the Azure that our buyer was able to obtain, and we saw that home. And we were like, "What home is that?" And it was the Azure. So they were like, "Perfect. We want to look at that one because the home stood out itself, even when it was just in frame. We didn't know which floor plan it was because it was too early in construction, but the lot stood out itself. And just like you said, the other ones in the middle of the road, they look normal. You still have nice water views in the back.
Yeah.
However, that corner lot that our buyer has, that's one of a kind.
100%. Like I would look, I like that lot a lot. I really do.
I
And
do
I
too.
promise
I do
everybody
too.
this. I did not watch that video. I didn't know that was coming up. So I'm glad that we were just on sync with that. I was like, damn, nice lot. You're like, okay, here, home number 2.
Yeah. But I do want to show you the Gabriella floor plan. That is one that I think is kind of the perfect floor plan, the perfect layout for families. It's just under 3,200 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, and you got a den and a flex room too. It's a ton of good space. There's a front porch on the home. Just remember, these homes have different elevations. Some might not come with the front porch, but if you're looking for that one, we can find it in the neighborhood.
How is
Everything in the
Casa
home
right now? Are
comes
they still doing those poppy beach colors on the outside? Have they toned it down and pulled it back a little bit, or are they still pushing that really hard as their stamp?
so that is still their stamp, but they have kind of warmed up the colors. There's not as many bright colors, I would
Gotcha.
say. I would say they're
Gotcha.
more warmer tones now. So, and I really am a big fan of it. I think it looks much better than just the random pops of color. I think it
Yeah.
all kind of flows together. It feels a lot more beachy. But yes, that is the stamp on their thing. It kind of feels like a Key West community. And this community is beautiful. When you're driving through, it really kind of has a different feel from some of the other builders that just have the whites and the grays. But like you said, we're not just tied to Casa. We know DR Horton is just about to open a new section in Two Rivers coming up here in the next couple of weeks. I think they're going to have the Holden model home over there too, which is a big fan favorite for a lot of people that call us.
Oh
But
yeah.
that's coming soon. Meritage Home is in this section. I think the great part about Two Rivers is that you can find entry level builders, or you can go over to the Landing and you can get those $1 million homes as well.
That's
So
where
they're
me and
going to
Corey,
have
we're gonna be
apartments
neighbors
in
there
there
one day, man. We're gonna be
at
neighbors
the
in the landings
Landing.
one day. Yeah, yeah.
That's what it is, man. It's a luxury social club that you're gonna have right here in Zephyrhills. So, but that's why people are buying into the section over there. They love having the tennis courts, the dining rooms, being able amphitheaters, things you want to do in your community. A lot of people call us because they want to meet their neighbors.
Yeah.
So that's a community that you're definitely going to be a part of. But back to this Gabriella, you got 3 car garage on here. It's kind of sneaky because you only see 2 in the front, but the layout of the living room, kitchen, dining room, open but designated spaces, I was kind of surprised at the lighting in this home all the way around. I'm talking upstairs as well. Tons of natural lighting, a big covered lanai. I think once you see the backyard here, it's a perfect example of what most of the lots look like in Two Rivers amongst all the builders.
I tell you what, lighting is such an underrated aspect of a home. I looked at a home in the Clermont area the other day. Definitely a level three
Hmm.
builder. They, full custom. They might have one of the biggest showrooms possible for you to select different things. But
Yeah,
one of the things they weren't allowing people to do is the structural option of adding more windows. And their model, which was roughly the same size as this home, was so dark. And I was like, why would
yeah,
somebody spend $1 million on a home that is just extremely dark without giving them the option of like, let's elevate it and add more natural lighting in it. So the fact that
yeah.
an entry level builder like Casa Fresca or our level one in our book already comes with a lot of this natural light. And I love this little den area. You usually don't see this over here. Yeah, this is
That's what I
usually
was saying. I
like
was
near
like,
that flex space up front somewhere, right? Like this is really neat.
correct, correct. Thoughtfully laid out floor plans, and they've evolved these floor plans over the past couple years with the intention of catering to the local buyer. They take the feedback from the buyers, from the sales reps, from the realtors, whatever they're hearing in the market, and they adjust these floor plans. So they'll come up with new floor plans every year if they need to, or just kind of transition one into what the market is asking for. But that is why another reason we've been getting so many deals done because they do have the floor plans for our buyers. We have several families looking at this Gabriella floor plan, and right now, you can't even get one at a quick move in because it is a more desirable home inside the community. But we do know when the next ones are coming available in the next few months. We know what lots they're on. We know when they're going to be released. So if you like the home on the screen, you got to reach out to us so we make sure that you're first on it.
Best way to reach us, email team@morefla.com. That's floating above. You did a video maybe 2 months back, somebody with the same
Mhm.
builder talking about a home that wasn't even released yet, but we negotiated for it to become
Yes.
released, right? And that's because of, and I'll
Yes.
let you kind of talk more about that. They know when we ask for things, we're not crying wolf. We're not in there kicking tires. Like we're serious, right? So release this for us. Let us get this. Let us get that. And you know that we have, we're going to continue to do business with you. And it's not a kickback, so to speak, right? But it's one of those things like the builders do want to sell the home. And a lot of times when we get the best deals, Corey, what do they say? If they sign today, we'll do it, right? So they want to sell the home, but they don't want to say yes. And then we're just like, nah, we don't want to do it. And all of a sudden, it's like crying wolf.
And when you walk into a builder, you're only going to have a handful of options that they're going to offer to you. They're going to tell you, this is what we're selling on our sheet. Those ones aren't even in this phase or they're not released. But we are able to uncover those situations and see how we're able to work with them. We've had certain situations where we're able to make a deposit on a home that they didn't want to start building for 3 months, but they were okay with us obtaining it now, signing the contract, and then we kind of let them start the construction whenever they were ready. We've had a situation where we're working with the rep and the team knows from the builder, hey, this home is going to be sold to this person when it's released. So on 8 a.m. the morning it's released, we're already pre-approved. We have the deposit money ready. We're ready to sign the contract and we can move forward first. So there's a bunch of different situations we can work with to obtain homes that maybe aren't available. But I think uncovering those homes is really the tricky part. And it's always case by case, builder by builder that's willing to do it. But ultimately, I think we work with our buyer to see what situation works best for them. Recently, we were able to secure a lot for someone that they don't want the home to start for 4 months. They're going to be moving next, they have a lease for 1 more year. So they're like, hey, if we can get it next spring, next summer, that'd be great. So we were able to work with the builder on pushing the start date back on that home, but still securing it now. So we don't have to worry about losing the lot, the one lot in the community that is the, like we said, a one of one.
Yeah.
So I think there's working with us is there's definitely ways that we can. That's part of having a good deal. Is
Yeah.
maybe uncovering something that wasn't even there. You're buying a car that's not even at the dealership, but they're like, "Hey, we don't sell that yet. We can sell to you now, though." That's kind of what we're working through with these builders to make sure that we're obtaining everything. Like you said, squeezing the lemon when we go into the builder because they do offer a lot right now, and they will. This is shiny. We're giving you 25K in flex cash. Well, a lot of times we're pulling another 10K out of there before our buyers are able to sign that contract. So
That's
don't
right.
leave money on the table by letting the builder say, "Hey, this here's what we're offering to you." There's still more in that deal.
how to properly structure your offer matters. So I was talking to my car sales rep today, right? My wife, we have a growing family. We have a 4-month-old now. By the way, Corey, that little piggy bank,
Big red boy.
I'll send you a new picture. Yeah. But Corey wants my
Okay.
son to get
Okay.
rich, right? The first thing he gave my son is a freaking piggy bank. I'm like, okay, cool. But
That's
either way,
it.
so like he's giving me insight on like how the market is and, structuring the deal properly. If you just jump at what they're going to give you, they just move the needle somewhere else, right? And so how we structure our offers is we go through price, upgrades, add-ons, terms, like all of those things you get one swing at it, people. And I'm talking to the people that are trying to do it on your own, like God bless you. But like you get one swing at it, you have to structure it properly. With us, we have systems in place, right? Where it's not a guessing game. It's not built off of how we feel. It's all terms. It's all done properly within our structured system. And so, you get one swing at it. You got to do it properly. You're talking about squeezing the whole lemon. I always talk about the toothpaste. My daughter always leaves toothpaste at the bottom. I'm like, baby, squeeze that
Yep.
thing from the bottom. We got to get everything out of this thing. So
So you're 100% right about that. You get one chance. Once you sign the contract, you are locked in. That could be for good or for bad.
yeah,
Sometimes prices go up the week after you sign, and hey, you're locked into the lower price. But
yeah.
also, you're locked into your terms of that agreement. We can't go back and ask for more money. We can't go back and ask for an extended time period. Like the contract is 100% set in stone once you sign. So we have to make sure, like you said, that we're protecting you from all angles on that deal instead of moving the incentive and adding it to the price. We're reducing the price along with the incentive. We're not taking the money from the interest rate and applying it to the appliances that they gave you. We're making sure that we're structured and protected within the deal. And that's just the beginning is signing the contract. After that, then we're talking about inspections, going to blue tape walks. I'll be heading out of here in 15 minutes and going to meet one of our clients for a blue tape walk in their final week of closing. So it's a long process, and there's many steps, and there's a lot of decisions to make when you're buying from the builders. But just having experts on your side that are going to support you is really all you need.
100%. And before you go, I want to show something real quick, okay? Because these level one products in our book, the downside to some people, as they may think, would be you don't get a
Mhm.
lot of options, right? They're going to build it the way they build it. The interior is going to be the way the
Yeah.
interior is. But in these model homes, they're showing you all of the little things that you can do aftermarket. And I know you have a lot of clients that they're actually subscribers of ours that they've purchased and they said, hey, what we're going to do as soon as we buy this home, we're going to get the right lot. We're going to get the home that we want. And then we're going to do a lot of stuff aftermarket, right? Are we seeing more and more people do that nowadays?
Yes, we are. We are seeing people buying a home that has a footprint in the layout they need and then just doing the upgrades at their own time. It is still going to be more affordable than having the builder do it. The
Yeah.
builder marks up these things 15, 20, 30% on many of these upgrades. These are all things you can do afterwards or have a company doing. It's still going to cost you less money. So I just went to the West Bay Design Studio with one of our clients. Do you know how much it was to upgrade Biscayne 1, the model home that's every community? $260,000.
That's not
The
funny.
kitchen, the kitchen was 100. The kitchen was 120 itself. Now he got a huge design
Of
incentive
course.
at the builder, something we were able to negotiate. But nonetheless, a kitchen was $112,000 for our buyer. If he wanted to do that same kitchen in his house, he could probably do it for 50,
Yeah.
maybe 45 in the Casa Fresca home. So if we can get you with the right people, which is exactly what we're doing, we're able to help you build a home that looks like a West Bay. I think it was a good point to note this room right here. This is a stunning room and we even know the carpenter that does the board and bat in this model home. We know who he is, and he's worked with some of our sales reps before. So we can get a guy, if you're seeing something you like on the screen, that can help you do this. But yes, definitely more clients going to a more affordable home. And then they come in and we recommend maybe beat up the floors or use the countertops for a year and then take it off and you can do whatever you want and make this your forever home.
Husband tip for everybody out there, right? I rather do it myself. You want to know why? Because the wife always thinks that there's something to freaking do. So if you do it if you buy it already done, you're going to have other crap you're going to have to do, right? But if you buy it like this and then you just do a little bit here and a little bit there, you'll stay
You're
busy.
always
You just got
busy.
to stay busy. That's all you have to do. You have to stay busy, show that you're getting things done. That's just a little husband tip for everybody out there. So
Christian's just standing outside watering his grass in the rain,
Yeah, I'm
trying
not
to
gonna
look
get I'm not
busy.
gonna get it all. There's always gonna be something to do right here. Okay, so do you have anything else for him before we hop off?
Oh man, that's it for this one.
Okay, cool. Look, if you made it this far, do us a favor. Like seriously, hit the like button. It's totally free. If you made it this far, or if you're not subscribed, what the heck are you doing? Catch you guys on the next one.